What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to another episode of my Top 10 series. And today, we're going to go a little different than usual. Like, I've done some Mafia 3 Top 10s, some Grand Theft Auto Top 10s. And by subscriber request, because several of you have been asking me for a while now to do a YouTube content creator tips video, I decided that what better place to do such a video than right here. So we got YouTube Top 10 Content Creator Tips. Now, about 2 years ago, I did a similar video. Of course, I've learned a lot over the past 2 years, and I've improved my gear, my equipment, the sound and video quality of my channel considerably since then. And yes, some of the stuff that you may hear me talk about in this video might feel recycled from that video, but, you know, there's still some information in there I may not cover in this video. So you may want to go check out that video as well. And it might give you an idea about how much better I am than I was 2 years ago. So FYI. And it might inspire you to become a content creator as well, because then you can look at how far I've come since I started this channel in 2014. And I believe that video was 2015. So I was about a year better than I was when I initially started. And now, over 3 years later, I'm way better than I was in 2014. All right, so anyways, let's get to it. My top 10 list of tips for aspiring new content creators. And maybe you're not a new content creator and you've hit a bump in the wall and you're just looking for some ideas, some things to ponder, to chew on. Hopefully this might help you out as well. By the way, if you have any additional YouTube content creator tips that you would like to put out there, feel free and leave that below in the comment section, because we're all about helping each other in this vast community known as YouTube. All right, so my first tip to you is, if you are a new content creator, aspiring, looking to start your channel, do not do it for the green. Do not do it for money. Do not do it for bills, for pounds, for euros, because the truth is, like recently, there's been an issue where advertisers have been leaving YouTube, which has had a negative effect on content creators in general. So if you want to be a content creator, it cannot be about the money. Think of it as being a starving artist, or an artist in general, who simply just has this crave, this desire to make content. That's what you are. That's what I am. You have to have the passion. You have to have the love, the dedication, the interest in the content you're going to make. And eventually, somewhere down the road, maybe, just maybe, you'll become the next big content creator, and you might be able to make a few bucks or pounds or euros doing this. But that cannot be your goal. That cannot be your motivation for starting out as a content creator. It's simply as an artist because you want to make content. So just keep that in mind. If your only purpose is to make money being a content creator, well, the joke's on you, because chances are you're going to have to first spend money in order to become a content creator. We'll get to that in just a moment. Our second tip is revolved around your channel and the brand. Focus that brand. And as some of my subscribers know, I come from radio. And if you ever listen to radio, whether in your car or just for fun before the times of MP3 players, you'll notice that almost all the radio stations are focused on something specifically, format-wise, whether it's a talk station or a hip-hop station, a rock station, etc. The same thing applies to your channel. Put the content on your channel that you're most interested in, whether it's gaming, vlogs, politics, humor, etc. Or tutorial videos. If you're like a musician and you want to put your music on that channel, then focus that channel specifically on music, or on gaming, or on vlogging, or on politics, or on funny videos if you're into funny videos. Don't go onto your channel and start posting a whole bunch of different things, because you want to keep the channel focused in order to appease and interest those subscribers out there looking for new channels to watch and subscribe to. So they're subscribing to your channel because of specific content that you make, whether it's a video game you play, or vlogs, or politics, or whatever. Just keep that channel focused. And if you're like me and you want to start doing vlogs, even though you have a gaming channel, then create a separate channel, kind of like a satellite channel, or a little sister, a little brother to the main channel, and focus that channel on that particular format, like my vlogs channel as opposed to my gaming channel and my politics channel. I try to keep them separated as best as I can. And that's the same thing I would recommend to all of you new content creators out there. If you're going to create a gaming channel, make it only about gaming, or only about politics, or only about humor, or vlogging. Don't put anything else on that channel. And if you feel like you want a different channel about history, then create a history channel. That's my 2 cents regarding branding your channel. The third tip is about coming up with a unique name for your channel. And this may take a little bit of time because there's so many channels out there, big channels, little channels, defunct channels, and you want to find as unique of a name for your channel as possible. And just search YouTube for channel names, type one in, it's trial and error until you get a name that you like. Once you get a name that you like, then I would also recommend going and getting that name off of Twitter, Facebook pages, as well as Instagram, and anywhere else that you want to be social media wise, because you want to create this social network that branches out from your YouTube channel. Whatever it's called, you also want to have the usernames of Twitter and Facebook to go along with it, and then interlock them together, connect them together, so that whenever you make a new video, not only does it upload to your YouTube channel, it also goes over to your Twitter as well as your Facebook page. But if you don't want a Facebook page, that's fine. Not everyone's into Facebook, but a lot of people are still into Twitter. So you may want to consider at the very least having a Twitter account to go with your YouTube channel. And like I said, make sure it's a name that you like, that's unique, that you're willing to stick with, for better or worse. The fourth tip is to learn the skills needed to become a content creator. And it's a very daunting task going into something you know absolutely nothing about. And it's not rocket science, it's not brain surgery, but it does require skills and knowledge and time to get good at being a content creator. And in order to be a content creator, you need to learn how to do video editing. You need to learn about photoshopping. And fortunately, YouTube's a nice big library of knowledge. So if you're just getting into video editing and you're having an issue, then type it in YouTube or type it into Google. The same thing goes with Photoshop. And surely enough, you will find other content creators out there that will teach you how to do something specifically in video editing or photoshopping in order for you to get better at video editing as well as photoshopping. But you definitely need to learn photoshopping as well as video editing in order to be a content creator. It doesn't matter what brand it is, whether it's vlogging, gaming, politics, humor, whatever your brand happens to be, you're going to need a certain basic set of skills in order to be a content creator on YouTube. My fifth tip is to invest in equipment in order to become a content creator. So not only do you have to learn how to be good at video editing and photoshopping, there's also software and hardware that you're going to need, in order to become a content creator on YouTube. And I would recommend doing some price checks, go online, find something that works for your budget, something that's highly reviewed. There's free video software out there. There's expensive video software as well, but I would recommend going as cheap as you can when it comes to starting off as a content creator. And eventually, when you get better at it, whenever you still have the passion several months later and you're continuing to grow your channel and you want to continue to invest in it, they're not only your blood, sweat, and tears, but also monetarily, then down the road I would recommend getting better video editing software. But like I said, there is some free video editing software out there. All you really got to do is Google it, find out about it, see what people recommend, go with the different reviews, learn more about it on YouTube like we talked about a moment ago. And then of course you're going to need something to edit it on, record it on, like a really good PC or a Mac or a laptop. So you definitely want to at least have a PC or a laptop or a Mac in order to do content creating on, because you really can't do it with a tablet or a smartphone. Now, other equipment that you may need is perhaps a video camera, or in this case, like a webcam. What I use is a Logitech. I think it was like $50 for my Logitech. It's pretty decent quality. And then you can decide how big or small you want the size of your webcam to be. So I got it up in the top right corner because I'm doing some stuff down here in the background video so that you guys can see some of the stuff that we're talking about as well. So yeah, if you want to do it a certain style where you're just talking, that's fine. But a lot of people really like webcamming for some reason, which is why I've been doing a lot more webcamming in my videos. So you may want to invest in a webcam or a video cam, a digital cam, but I would say a webcam is probably the cheaper route to go. And then of course, if you're like, for example, into gaming, then you're going to need a game capture. And I would recommend getting an Elgato game capture, and I've had a couple of these. They're kind of expensive, about 200 bucks. This is an HD60, so you could probably pick this up at, say, online through Amazon or Best Buy, for example. So if you're into making video games as your focus on your channel, then you may want to get a game capture like this Elgato HD60, which works on the PlayStation 4 as well as the Xbox One. And believe it or not, it actually works on the Switch. So that was one thing I was surprised about. And you may also need some like HDMI cables, to hook into everything. So I think it comes with cords, but you may want to consider at least getting 1 or 2 HDMI cords. And let me grab it real quick. Maybe some USB cords as well. So there is some equipment you're going to have to get to be a content creator, especially if you're going to be about, recording game capture for the video games you happen to play. So just something else to think about. You're going to probably have to spend a few bucks or a few $100 in order to get your setup done right. And I would recommend a good quality microphone. What I have is a Blue Yeti. And originally I used something cheaper, a Logitech headset, which was $25. But if you go back to some of my older videos, like that YouTube tips video I did in 2015, you can see by leaps and bounds how much better my audio quality is with my Blue Yeti, which was, I think, also about, was it 100 or 200 bucks for my Blue Yeti? I don't recall. But at the same time, you have to spend money for better quality stuff. So if you want to go cheap, that's fine, but just remember you get what you pay for. But to be honest, I prefer using my Blue Yeti over a cheap $25 Logitech headset. The sound quality is just way better, and I use it for everything, for all my different videos, for Let's Playing, etc. And something else you may want to invest in is probably a flash card, a USB card. It's really easy to do, especially if you're going to just take video off of the game capture on your PlayStation 4 and then plug it into your laptop or your computer, or take it off your laptop and then plug it into something else like a computer. Then yeah, you may want to invest in one of these flash card drives or USB drives or whatever you call them. I have one of those as well, and it's quite useful for my video editing. All right, so we're at tip number 6 now in this top 10 video. With a few exceptions, your channel isn't going to grow overnight. There are a few exceptions, obviously. Some channels manage to do it in 5 months. I've seen that happen where they go from 0 to 100,000 plus subscribers. They just got lucky. They happened to be covering something that was a hot topic and their channel blew up. Most of the time, that's not the case. Take it from personal experience. I've been growing my gaming channel for the past 3 years, and I'm almost at 4,300 subscribers. This is usually the rule, not the exception. So just bear that in mind. Even if you do post daily or weekly content, it will take you time, months to perhaps even several years, to possibly get big. And the reality is, you may never get big. But that should not be a motivating factor for you to be a content creator. One day, if you're meant to get big, it'll happen. If you're not meant to get big, at least you had a good time being a content creator. At least you tried something, and you never know what these skills may lead you towards in your life. The video editing, as well as getting in front of a microphone or behind a microphone, in front of a camera. You never know where the skills we learn are going to take us. And the same thing applies to being a content creator. So don't let that be too discouraging. And hopefully the next tip will be a lot more positive. Tip number 7. Yes, you start off at the bottom because there's bigger YouTubers than you. YouTubers with hundreds of subscribers, thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, millions of subscribers. But guess what? I and all the other ones out there, big or small, started off the same way you're starting. 0 subscribers and 0 views. So while the journey seems long and arduous, it is possible to eventually become a bigger YouTuber and grow your channel to a decent size if it's in the cards for you. So don't let that be too daunting. Don't feel like that I'm trying to discourage you from not becoming a content creator. I'm just trying to give you guys a reality of exactly what you're getting into. And it's the same stuff that, I had to face, continuing to grow my channel. Now, my 8th tip is quality over quantity. Now, when you first start off making your content on your channel, you're going to do the best you can, as you always do. But the truth is, those first videos over the first few weeks, first few months, first year even, are not going to be as good as future content that you make down the road. And it's something I discussed a moment ago concerning, where I was in 2014 to where I am now in 2017. In time, we do get better. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's content creating or painting or carpentry. If you put time into it, you learn more about it, do trial and error, you will get better no matter what it is that you're seeking to do skill-wise. The same thing, like I said, applies to YouTube. So just keep that in mind. Continue to learn, seek knowledge, improve upon that knowledge. And if there's something that's stumping you, like I mentioned, go to YouTube, find out how to do this in video editing or in Photoshop, and just keep getting better at editing and content creating. And yes, you will see a drastic improvement over time when it comes to your skills as a YouTuber. Now, when you're starting off, I would recommend with perhaps just doing weekly content. Start small, then build yourself up. Focus on trying to get out at least one video a week or one video every 2 weeks, depending on your schedule, because we all have real life stuff going on, because this isn't paying the bills. So you're probably in school or probably working a full-time, part-time job, and this is just a hobby for you right now. And you're not going to have as much time to make videos. That's okay. But at least focus enough time, dedicate it to where you're at least putting out something new every 1 or 2 weeks for your subscribers or for people you want to come to your channel, watch your content, and eventually subscribe. So put it out on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, and try and put it out around the same time, like the same day of the week, a Monday or a Wednesday or a Friday. And usually what I do is around the same time, about 8 a.m. Central Time, my time. Maybe you want to put your content out in the afternoon. That's perfectly fine. It's whatever time works for you. And eventually, if you feel like doing more than like one video a week, then, start posting 2 or 3 videos a week. You put it out on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, or Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Trying to give those videos a little bit of breathing room in between each other. Eventually, you may get to the point where you can do daily content, but don't feel pressured to do that. Just try and get 1 video out per week, and then work your way up from there as you get better with your video editing skills and your Photoshop skills for your thumbs. By the way, for thumbs, I would recommend 1280 by 720, size-wise. Go with that thumb-wise. That's something I had to learn eventually as a content creator. But yeah, just get better at your skills, come up with new ideas for content you'd like to see on your channel on a regular basis. And content that's not working, scrap it, move on to something else. So it's always trial and error when it comes to growing your channel. And like I said, always focus on quality over quantity. Even if you get to the point where you're doing 7 videos a week, I would say at the most, probably post 1 video a day. Every now and then I like post more than 1 video a day, but for the most part, I try and keep it 1 video a day, and that's just the way I'm going to be, no matter how big the channel gets. Even if I end up, having 42,000 or 420,000 or 4 million subscribers, that's just the way it's going to be for me. At the most 1 video per day, or in your case, starting out 1 video per week, and then eventually move on to more videos per week. Moving on to tip number 9. This is very important for you as a content creator. Get to know and use all the YouTube tools at your disposal. And the truth is, I'm still learning those tools, and it's always a learning experience. But the first thing you want to do is go to the About section and type out a paragraph about you, about what your channel's about. Like, welcome to my channel. This is what the channel's about. It's about politics. It's about humor, funny videos. It's about specific video games I play, etc. And then encourage people to subscribe to the channel if they want more content. Let them know when the content's going to be up, once a week, daily content, etc. So be sure and fill out the About section on your channel, so people can quickly get an idea who you are. I'd also recommend creating a 1 to 2 minute channel trailer as well, which basically does the same thing as the About section. Then, of course, go into the Video Manager, and you'll see a lot of different tools at your disposal, things that you will have to eventually enable, things that will unlock as your channel gets bigger. But first off, the community section. The community section is where you will see all the comments appear for all your videos. We'll talk about comments in a second. And then, of course, the upload default is very important, especially if you have links to other things like your Twitter account, your Facebook page, etc. And you don't want to constantly type that up each time you have a new description section. Yeah, you definitely want to, tell YouTube what exactly the format of your channel is, whether it's gaming, politics, etc. You do that in the upload default section, along with putting the basic information, links, whatnot, in that description section. So every time you're uploading a video, it's already there, and all you got to do is come up with a brief sentence at the top regarding whatever your video is about in the very top of the description section, along with your tags and other things as well. Now, as you grow your channel with more videos, you may start to realize that you have different video categories for different things on the channel. There, you want to create playlists for all your categories. Like me, for example, for my top 10 videos, I have a top 10 playlist. I have a rant playlist. Actually, I have 2 rant playlists because I have a lot of rants. I have a discuss playlist. So playlists are very important, and I would recommend creating playlists. And then what you do is you can take your playlists and you can put them up in the card section, which appears in the top right-hand screen of your video. So for my top 10 video here, you'll see at the beginning of this video, you may have noticed that all of a sudden it said top 10, which was my top 10 playlist. So if you're interested in more top 10 videos from me, you would just click on the playlist and go check them out. And if there's specific videos that I mention, like my YouTube tips video a few times, the very first time I mentioned that in this video, it also appeared in the card section, because I went into the card section and I went to the specific time when I mentioned it, and then I put it there so it would pop up whenever I mentioned it. So it's kind of like an impromptu for you guys to know exactly where that video is when I mention it. And of course, the in-card section is a little bit more complicated, but I would recommend it as well. And for that, you're going to obviously probably need some Photoshop skills, create an in-card. Once again, 1280 by 720. Give yourself an additional 10 seconds at the end of the video, and room to where you can put your previous video and then a random video, as well as a subscribe button. And that way it helps grow the channel as well. And another thing is, if you're looking for copyright-free music and sound effects, what better place to go than the YouTube audio library, which is another tool at your disposal. Now, some of the songs are free to use. Others require you, at the very least, mention it and plug it in your description section. So just be mindful of the music that you download out of the YouTube library. But definitely a lot of the music I use comes from the YouTube library, and a lot of it's free music because it's easier that way. And I don't want a copyright claim. I definitely don't want copyright strikes. So try and keep your channel as clean as possible. And you do so by creating original content and only using free to use content that you can find in the YouTube audio library, whether it's music or sound effects. And now for my 10th and final tip for you content creators out there is build an awesome community around your channel, because your channel is only as strong as your subscribers, as your viewers, as your fans. And it's a lot like gardening in a way. If you water and nourish your plants, you're going to have a beautiful garden. If you don't, you're going to have a bunch of weeds. It's going to look disgusting, and you can go to certain channels and you can see hateful comments. You can see spamming. You can see trolls galore. If you don't want that on your channel, then I would encourage you to tend your community garden. And you do so also with your social media sites, along with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Interact with your followers, your viewers, your fans. If they post comments you like their comments. If there's a comment you absolutely love the comment. And if they ask you a question, be sure and reply to them. Now, along with all the good, positive comments you're going to get, all the questions, everyone that comes to your channel loving your content, there's always going to be trolls. There's always going to be haters, especially as you grow your channel. You're just going to have to come to terms with that. And you got to grow a thick skin when it comes to people that aren't going to like you, because guess what? Not everyone's going to like your videos. Not everyone's going to like you. It's just a reality. Even if you are genuine, even if you are putting good quality videos on your channel and you're doing the best you can, there are still people that are going to dislike your videos for whatever rhyme or reason. And unfortunately, there are still going to be trolls and haters that come to your channel occasionally and post hateful comments, whether about you or about other people in general, whether it's a bigoted, racist, sexist, etc. And there's two ways to combat it. The first way is the automatic approach by going into the video manager, going where you can, type in specific words and phrases that are, blacklisted on your channel. So if someone automatically throws a racial slur in the comment section, that comment is automatically removed. If someone continues to post hateful comments, then not only do you remove those comments yourself, you also prevent them from posting further comments on your channel. So that's two ways you combat the trolls and the haters. You do not feed the trolls. Do not react to them, because that's what they want. They want you to reply to them. They want your subscribers and your fans to reply to them. They want a little war in the comment section. Deny them that. Get that crap out of there. They're weeds in your garden, and just pull them up, toss them aside. It's your channel. It's your comment section. You have a right to dictate the terms of what's put in the comment section. Now, don't go overboard with it. If somebody's, critiquing your videos and they're not being hateful, they're just being like, look, I think you talk too much. I think you could have done this a little bit better. Leave the comment up there as long as they're being respectful and they're not posting any hateful nonsense or calling you like a piece of shit or something. Just leave it alone. Ignore them. But sometimes people will post critiques that can actually prove to be beneficial for you down the road. And you may want to be mindful of that. But at the same time, do your best and do what you do, and don't worry about what anyone else tells you to do. Some people have good advice for you. Some people have bad advice. You can take it or leave it. Just like with my top 10 tips regarding YouTube content creators. So feel free to use all 10 of my tips, or some of my tips, or none of my tips, and do whatever the hell you want to do on your channel, because in the end, it's your channel, for better or worse. But don't let the haters get you down. Don't let negative comments get you down. If they're really bad comments, remove them, because like I said, you have a right to remove them. Don't let dislikes bother you either, because that's just the reality of the situation. As you grow your channel and you get more subscribers, more views, more likes will also net you more dislikes. But if you don't want a ton of dislikes, try to be genuine. Try to be honest. Avoid posting like clickbait crap and nonsense if you don't want to receive a ton of hate from people. So there you go, my YouTube top 10 content creator tips for all of you new aspiring YouTubers out there, and maybe other YouTubers that have hit like a roadblock or bump to the wall and you just are having issues right now. Hopefully some of my tips have proven useful. Maybe all of them did. And if you have any additional tips you would like to add to the conversation, feel free and do so below in the comments section.